Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive. We welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Moments ago, a scene that's played here since 2004. Big Ben Roethlisberger greeted by this sold-out Heinz Field crowd. His Steelers getting set to match up with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
The kicker, Graham Gano, set to put his foot into this one. And with towels waving, we're underway from Heinz Field. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. Leading them out is the former first-rounder from all the way back in 2004 from Miami of Ohio, Ben Roethlisberger.
And when you just sit and look at the raw numbers, you actually kick back and nod in appreciation about the career Ben Roethlisberger has had. Won over 50,000 passing yards last year, 8th all-time. But what he wants more than anything, one more run at the Super Bowl where he's won twice previously.
First carry for James Conner, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
A big reason this team led the league in offense, their offensive line. Monster strength. 3 Pro Bowlers last year in Alejandro Villanueva, David DeCastro, and Marquise Pouncey. Kept their quarterbacks upright to throw it downfield and carved a lot of holes for their runners.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Stop made there by Julius Peppers. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
Spotlight, please, on Shaq Thompson. I always go back to his time at the University of Washington. Played some minor league baseball in the offseason. Could have been a big-time running back, maybe even a safety, and has settled in as a good, strong outside linebacker in the NFL whose forte is speed.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Roethlisberger will hand to Conner. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Fielded just inside the 20. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. Bringing them out is the 29-year-old quarterback who played his college ball at Auburn, Cam Newton.
2 years after leading the Panthers to the Super Bowl, he did get them back into the playoffs in 2017. Unfortunately, they fell in the first round. Just 206 yards passing per game, the lowest total of his career. But I think a lot of that was due to injuries on the offensive line and the lack of big-time weapons outside. The Panthers in the last 2 drafts, though, have tried to address that. Look for those numbers to climb up again for Cam Newton.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
throw on second down is Newton. On the catch, it's Jarius Wright. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
So first and second down went the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, Newton. Got a man, it's right. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On second down, here's Newton. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for Jarius Wright that time. And it's third down. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Coming off being named All-Pro for the first time in his career, Cameron Hayward had 12 sacks in 2017, a career high. But it's not just that makes his game good. Yeah, he can rush the passer, but his biggest thing, handling the running game, both as a defensive end and as a tackle whenever they play in the sub or the nickel packages.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. A shotgun snap for Newton. Over the middle to Smith. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights. National television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real. And a pretty nice opening statement.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense taking the field again, and it's a 3-game win streak right now for the Steelers. So after the rough start, Charles, they're 4-2-1, and Ben Roethlisberger passed Fran Tarkenton for 8th on the all-time passing list in touchdowns.
343, and when you're passing Fran Tarkenton, you know you're having a heck of a career. He found Antonio Brown twice, so their connection back and established. And how about running back James Conner? Le'Veon Bell still not on the team, but James Conner, 146 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. He's playing at an elite level.
Now Roethlisberger over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. James Conner, the running back, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. They run with Conner, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the 1st quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Look at the Carolina Panthers coming back onto the field. This is a unit, Charles, that feels very comfortable in uptown Charlotte. They got their 9th straight win at home last week when they took care of Baltimore 36-21. And Cam Newton did his thing, and the Panthers now 5-2.
Yeah, and they took down the #1 defense in the NFL in terms of yards per game allowed in the Baltimore Ravens. And Cam Newton, quietly, I think is having his best season since his MVP year of 2015. Now 6 straight games with at least 2 touchdown passes, and you always have to defend him in the run game as well. This Carolina offense is starting to perk on all cylinders.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey, and he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Newton. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Pilardi now on the punt as he sends this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Connor. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
The Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Mario Addison able to run him down for a loss of 18 yards. And it'll be 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the Panthers coming out now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10, right at the 30. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
not see another play as time has run out on this first quarter. 3-0 is our score. More from the Steel City coming up after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. Able to fight through one tackle. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And not much running room. Down to the 32. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Now, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Vance McDonald, 76 yards. And the Steelers are an extra point away from taking the lead. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the #1 thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Newton. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Panthers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun. Newton. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That's taken on the 25. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Set.
Now Roethlisberger. And that's complete to Jesse James. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
And there's our first glimpse of Antonio Brown in this game, and he's a guy that's a threat each and every time the ball heads in his direction, coming off the 2nd year where he led the league in receiving yards in 2017.
Yeah, 1,533, just turned 30 back in July, and no signs of this man stopping. Roethlisberger now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
230.
Here's Roethlisberger. Washington with a catch, middle of the field. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket, to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Conner. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington from 3 yards out. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is up to 8. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
Yeah, as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. From the gun, Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. But with that incompletion, I want to take a look ahead to Sunday night, Charles. Packers-Patriots, only going to be the second all-time meeting between Brady and Rodgers.
Yeah, they met in Lambeau in 2014. Aaron Rodgers' Packers team won the game, I believe, was it 26-21. And head-to-head, Tom Brady had a nice night, 245 yards and 2 touchdowns. But Aaron Rodgers, 368 and 2 touchdowns. I can't wait to see them go back and forth in this one. I hope it turns into that type of a shootout game where, one team scores, here comes the other, and both of them have big, big games.
Do you think it's eating at Brady? I know he's had a lot of success, and he's never beaten Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know that it's eating at him, but he's the type of guy that is always looking for motivation, and at this stage of his career, he has to search to find it because he's done everything. Yeah, being down 1 to Aaron Rodgers, that'll be a motivator for him for Sunday.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Operating from the gun, Newton. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Bud Dupree with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 33. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Looking left sideline, incomplete. But just taking a glance real quick at next week's games in the NFL. The Chiefs at Browns, that's kind of intriguing. Obviously, the Browns are struggling, Charles, but Mayfield and Mahomes, that's going to be a fun quarterback battle.
It's going to be a blast, isn't it? Maybe they can recreate their day when they played against each other in college, when Mayfield had transferred from Texas Tech to Oklahoma. Mahomes is now the starting quarterback at Texas Tech. Mayfield throws for 545.
Now bad hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And the Panthers have recovered. So the coach putting the blitz on, and remember, that coach, former defender in this league, he loves this.
Yeah, they love to see it happen because I think they just have that flashback about when they were playing, right? That's what we were taught. That's what we did. And they've used that same impact with their own teams and do the same type of teaching.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. Try to lay one up deep. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Out of the gun, Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Well, CD, while we have a second, we need to give a congratulations to Adam Vinatieri. Earlier in the year set the all-time mark for field goals, but now he's the league's all-time leading scorer. He passed Hall of Famer Morton Anderson.
How about that? And that was a record that Adam Vinatieri himself said, I didn't expect anyone to ever approach that record, let alone myself. And going into the game in Oakland, a lot of family and friends wanted to buy airline tickets, get out there and be there to celebrate. He had a groin injury, and he said, hey, you might want to hold off on that. I'm not sure I'm even going to be able to play. But play he did, and he set the record. He makes a strong case to be a first-ballot Hall of Fame guy when his time comes up.
That's something as a kicker. 2,547 career points. The Panthers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Newton able to get away, but in the end the pressure too great and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Here's Michael Pilardi now, standing just outside his own goal line. That's pulled in at the 32. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. 3 first-half touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Boswell for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Newton on first down. And right with it here over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Newton to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Javon Hargrave. With a great push up front, he picks up the sack and a loss of 8. To throw on second down is Newton. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Newton now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To the air again, Newton. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. 3rd down here. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Well, it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And Gano's kick is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The drive will start with Connor. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On the ground, McCaffrey. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Third and long, it's Newton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. And a trio of touchdown passes so far. They've got the lead as well. All is good in their football world at this point.
And it's so much fun for our colleagues, right? Think about our producer, our director, everyone putting together these shots. Wouldn't you love to be in the truck right now and hear him calling for it? Give me that one, give me that one, give me that one. And we just saw 3 beautiful touchdown passes.
Now he's looking for 4. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They start with a give to counter, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, But I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it, and here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Third down now. It's C.J. Anderson. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. It's taken to the 26. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. To the right side and complete to Washington. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run at Stephen Redley. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Back to the ground. It's Ridley again. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And it's brought in by Washington. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
4 down.
He'll get it up the middle. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now Roethlisberger. That will be caught by James. The big tight end has a Steeler touchdown. Jesse James, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
You having fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that will make this a 19-point game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
That's it. That's it, buddy. Set.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And caught left side, Olsen. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Newton. Got a man, it's right. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is McCaffrey on the give. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Another 3 on the board. He's been the lone bright spot. That's now 4 field goals.
If this offense had finished a few drives, we'd be looking at a different complexion to this ball game, because right now, the trade is really wrong for them, isn't it? They're trading field goals while the other team's scoring touchdowns. That's not going to work.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. He continues to just torch this defense. Perfect on the last drive, including his 4th touchdown pass of the game.
Similar to hitters that are in that great zone in baseball, and they say the ball looks bigger when it's approaching the plate and they're smacking it around. I think for him, the windows to throw into are wide open. Doesn't matter whether they're tight or not. He feels like it's wide open, puts it in there. 4 touchdown passes. He thinks he's going to throw a whole lot more before this one's over.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. They go play action here on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run with Ridley. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Right back to him on first down. And he loses the football a second time. And the Panthers have recovered.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Carolina getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 37. Following the fumble recovery, Newton over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, complete. That's McDonald. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching in Atlanta, our apologies.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
Again, it's Connor. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5, that's a whale of a game. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Newton now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the 50, Newton. And it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Again, Newton. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Here's Counter. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They stay on the ground. Here's Counter again. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards. And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on third down.
5 defensive backs. And they'll run it here. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This a 33-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
180.
On second down, here's Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, Newton. His throw incomplete. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up 3rd. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
180.
Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And this is incomplete. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Now, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now Newton on first down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a first down throw for Newton. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's right. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Newton throwing again. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Throwing again is Newton. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Newton. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he's on to punt for Carolina. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And they'll go on the ground. And they'll hit him for a loss ball as he's back to his 2-yard line. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.